Big Modi mayors meet in Ahmedabad. India-Germany ink pact on semiconductor sectors. Prime Minister Modi hails ties with Germany. Leaders attend International Kite Festival. Pay tribute to Bapu at Sabarmati Ashram. Sergio Gore is new US envoy to India, says Trump-Modi friendship real and India an essential partner. Award season officially kicks off with the Golden Globe Awards. Timothy Chalamet, Jessie Buckley win big. Owen Cooper becomes the youngest supporting actor to win in TV category. Priyanka Chopra Jonas shines as one of the presenters there. All right, we have breaking news top of Prime5 right now, and this is regarding Thalapathy TVK chief's questioning here in India's national capital regarding the Karur stampede. The questioning began at around 12:15 p.m., following which Vijay was given a 1-hour lunch break. As we speak, Vijay, the TVK chief, has been questioned for over 4 hours. He was not confronted with any other witnesses during today's questioning. Sources further indicate that he may be questioned about the documentary evidence related to the Karur rally. So far, only statements have been recorded. And this is regarding TVK Chief's Vijay's questioning here in New Delhi over the Karur stampede. It says Vijay was not confronted with other witnesses, and we're also learning that he was given a 1-hour lunch break after the questioning began at 12 p.m. in the afternoon. For more on this, my colleague Tejshri, who's been tracking this very closely, is now joining me live. Tejshri, what more can you tell us? We are learning that Vijay was not confronted with other witnesses. He was given a 1-hour lunch break. But as we speak, he has been questioned for over 4 hours. Over to you.
Well, absolutely. Let me also tell you that let us also in fact give a quick recap for our viewers that it was 11:50 a.m. when he reached here at the CBI headquarters, from where we are reporting, and NDTV was the only channel tracking him down from the airport to here at the CBI. And in fact, in the visuals also you can see the visuals of the pictures of CBI headquarters, where the questioning of actor turned politician Vijay is underway. Number one. Number two, yes, as you very rightly mentioned, 1 hour lunch break was given to Vijay, post that the questioning has begun again. Now if we count, it's been more than 4 to 5 hours that the questioning is still continuing. What we were expecting is that the questioning could end till 5 p.m. but as of now there is no clue so as to if the questioning is so as to how long will the questioning continue, because as of now we are also in fact learning that there is a high possibility that it could continue for next 30 to 40 minutes as well, and depends on whether if the investigating team is satisfied with the answers of the actor turned politician Vijay, then only he will be able to leave the premises. Otherwise there is a possibility again that he could also be summoned once more if the investigation remains to be incomplete, because remember that there were several witnesses who have already been summoned and questioned by the agencies as well, and also in fact the policemen who were present over there at the very spot on 22nd September when this entire incident unfolded, where 41 people lost their lives, more than 60 people were injured, and in fact this was a very traumatic incident in the recent political history of the state, in the state of Tamil Nadu, as far as I can remember. Perhaps that is why it becomes very much important. And in fact it was a speech that it was a political rally that Vijay was going to hold, and then post that we also saw several massive developments unfolding. Now needs to be seen that when the questioning ends and at what time Vijay steps out of this very door. Back to you.
Right, Tejshri. Thanks for getting us the latest. That's my colleague Tejshri joining us live from outside the CBI headquarters. All right, staying on with this story now. Staying on with the story, TVK Chief Vijay is currently in the CBI headquarters in Delhi. He's being questioned by the CBI over the Karur stampede. His questioning started shortly post-noon. That's what we broke on top of the show. At around 12:15 p.m. in the afternoon is when Vijay's questioning started. Remember, the stampede at a TVK rally in Karur, Tamil Nadu on September 27th had claimed 41 lives. And this It's the first time that CBI is questioning Vijay ever since that fatal incident, the stampede, took place in Tamil Nadu. Remember, this questioning comes months ahead of the Tamil Nadu elections. The central agency is now probing various areas, various contours of the Karur stampede, to name some: alleged mismanagement and violations at the stampede site on September 27th. So far, the CBI has recorded statements of security and traffic officials and carried out questioning at the TVK headquarters. They have also questioned 2 TVK secretaries and Vijay's driver in connection with the case. Meanwhile, DMK has hit out at Vijay, alleging that the Tamil star wanted to use CBI against DMK, when according to them, it is Vijay himself who is solely responsible for deaths in Karur.
Vijay wanted CBI.
Yes.
Because he thought that the CBI can be used against DMK. But factually, Vijay is the reason for the death. And everybody knows that when a person says that he will address a gathering at 12 o'clock, and people started gathering from 8 o'clock until 7:30 in the evening, till when Vijay came, they were waiting in the scorching sun without water and food and fainted. So the reason is Vijay's delay. But they want to push the blame on DMK, where DMK has no role at all to play. Why Vijay came at 7:30, he is not replying. And he wants the case to be put to the CBI. Now he is caught in the CBI. If the state police had inquired, he need not have to go to Delhi.
All are same in front of the law. So let them follow the due diligence of the law. And we hope that the truth emerges once the complete inquiry is being done. Everyone are waiting for the same. Let the truth emerge, whether it is a planned conspiracy or it is an accident which has costed 41 precious life. Let the truth emerge.
All right, I'm now being joined by my colleagues who have been tracking the story very closely since morning. I'm being joined by Anushka and Tejshri. Anushka, coming to you first. We broke this on top of the show with Tejshri itself that so far only statements have been recorded. It's been close to 4.5 hours since the CBI has been grilling Vijay. What more can you add to this?
Well, that's right, Rahisha. We are seeing that the investigation is going well over 4.5 hours now. He was given a 1-hour lunch break, and he was in fact, confronted. He might be in fact confronted with all the hard evidences that was in fact, added to the day when the Karur stampede incident took place. Now, what the main question remains here is that several of the Tamil Nadu police officials were questioned here. The bandobast program was in fact shared with the CBI as to what all instructions were issued to the ground workers by that time. I'd also like to show you what the outside of CBI headquarters looks like. We are seeing that the fans have in fact gathered outside the CBI headquarters. We have been seeing the fan movement throughout the day, where several of the people have come here and have said that they are the supporters of Vijay. Now, since the questioning is in fact going on, we are getting to know that he might be confronted with the evidences, with this, papers, the documents of this whole incident, about what all permissions were taken, and did he not know that this kind of crowd swelling would happen, and why was he late for 7 hours? More than 7 hours is what in fact happened that day. The whole rally was about to start around 12 p.m., but then he came around 7 p.m. and had in fact also added another bout of fan crowd that was in fact with Vijay in his modified vehicle, which he had in fact brought, which the CBI had taken into custody, and had in fact also measured the whole size of the van and had also collected hard evidences. So far, the videography, the photography, the scene recreation, all has been done by the CBI. It has been covered in 2 cases. Now we are seeing that the CBI had set up its headquarters, its base camp at Karur temporarily, where they had been in fact questioning the collector, the district collector of Karur district, and we are also seeing that the police superintendent was in fact also questioned in this matter. 7 people have accompanied Vijay today, at the CBI headquarters, where he is in fact right now being questioned about what all did he know, what his movement was like at the day of the stampede, when the stampede took place, what was the reason behind observed him coming to the rally so late, and did he know, and was it a show of strength that he was, while he was seeing that the crowd was swelling and people were panicking, he continued on with his speech? So these are the line of questions that the police have been in fact asking Vijay. His statement has been recorded, and within the course of the day, he might be confronted with all the documentary evidences that came out from the Karur's rally and the campaign that happened that fateful day.
Right, Anushka. We also have Tejshri with us. Tejshri, Anushka, they're giving us a lowdown of all the line of questions that CBI has perhaps taken forward. Talked from a 7-hour delay in his arrival to the fact that how did the crowd swell from 10,000 to 25,000. Give us a lowdown to all our viewers as to the line of questioning that CBI has taken so far, because we're also learning that Vijay may be questioned about documentary evidence related to the Karur stampede as well.
Remember last week, one police official was summoned and another district collector was summoned.
Tejshri, if you can hear me. Right, there seems to be some... Right,
well, yes, absolutely. As we're talking that how it's been more than 4.5 hours. Yes, as we're talking, Resha, about how it's been more than 4.5 hours and still the questioning continues. And as Anushka was also rightly pointing out, that there will be several angles that all will be probed, interrogated, investigated. And in fact, there's high possibility that not today, but next and future, that cross-questioning or in fact the witnesses will be cross-questioned so as to what Vijay has said and what the other witness has said. Because remember that he is not the first individual who has been questioned in this entire matter as far as the incident of 27th of September 2025 is concerned. Earlier also there have been many witnesses who have been called for questioning. That also includes in fact includes the policemen of the of that particular area who were stationed at that point of time, who were responsible for the security. And then questions were also in fact asked to them so as to why there was such a major lapse in the security. Was such a kind of information provided to the higher ups that such a large crowd was going to accumulate or gather over there? And if they had an idea of crowd, the number of crowd could increase from 10,000 and suddenly to 30,000, then what emergency arrangements were made? Quickly, let me also give you a 360-degree idea so as to what is happening over here. Number one, Mominji, show these visuals. This is the visual of the CBI headquarters, where continuously you can see that there's a high security over here. The police personnel are deployed over here. On my left-hand side, now we'll slightly pan the camera and in fact also show the visuals of the barricadings. Then the traffic movement of that area is very much restricted as of now because of the questioning that's going on. Definitely a huge number of large number of people were present over here. There was a huge crowd that gathered some time back, and the fans were also in fact stating that they have been standing over here since 7 a.m. And for fans, let me tell you, Resha, Vijay is just a superstar, and he is completely innocent, and he was not at all involved in any way in this entire incident. But as far as investigation is concerned, it has to happen in its own way. So we'll have to see that how it unfolds and whether he will be questioned or summoned for the second time or not. That is also very important to be seen. All the details we'll be giving you here from ground zero.
Right, absolutely. Those were Anushka and Tejshri giving us a lowdown of all that's happening, standing outside the CBI headquarters here in New Delhi. All right, let's now give you a more detailed perspective on CBI's line of questioning so far and Vijay's reaction to all of that. So number one, the first question is why did Vijay continue? Why did you continue with speech despite people fainting? Then the next big question. You were seen giving water bottles as people fainted, still you did nothing. Why did Vijay do nothing when he saw people fainting there at his Karur's rally? Apart from this, he was 7 hours late to the rally there in Karur. The reason for delay at the venue, why didn't you reach on time? First question, why were you 7 hours late for the rally? Then, was this delay, a 7-hour delay, which is not just a short time, was the delay in order to showcase your strength? And perhaps, why did the program start 7 hours late? The third aspect rather, is the crowd estimate. Was crowd estimate shared with administration? This question is being asked because they had estimated 10,000 people, but that swelled to around 25,000 people. Then, did his party TVK foresee crowd swelling because it perhaps doubled from 10,000 to 25,000? The fourth major aspect is the coordination with the police officers, the coordination with the bandobast team, like our reporters were telling, with the local police there. Was there coordination with the police? Apart from that, was crowd management discussed with the authorities? Because of the lack of crowd management, that led to the stampede there in Karur. Then, about Vijay's movement. First, of course, we told you why was he 7 hours late. Then, was there a planned timeline for movements? Who monitored this? How was Vijay's vehicle allowed to move in dense crowd? Then the chain of command, people who were sitting at the positions of authority and how things took place. First, within TVK, who decides the venue, event and scale? Was any risk or safety assessment also done? And then about the safety arrangements, were basic needs, water, barricades, exits, emergency support, were all of these planned when he was holding a rally in Karur? Then the police coordination on ground. Did the TVK cadre follow police instructions? Were they in link with the local police there in Karur? Then the timeline of arrival and the exit. Now the CBI perhaps needs exact timeline of Vijay's arrival and movement. Then the permissions. Who organized this event? From where did he sought the permission? Who gave the permission from the authorities? Under what category was the event approved? Then let's talk about the information flow, which is also on the CBI lens. When did you learn of the tragedy? That 41 people died who came to attend his rally. And lastly, who informed the TVK chief, Vijay, about the Karur rally stampede? Let's also now tell you about the allegations against Vijay right now. Number one, he fled the rally site soon after stampede. Number two, the allegation number two, showed no remorse, perhaps no responsibility as well. Grossly negligent and poor leadership. These are some of the straight allegations which are being thrown at the TVK chief Vijay, and also lacks empathy for loss of lives. TVK's focus on publicity and not on condolence. Let's take you through TVK's defense allegations right now. What is the TVK party and its chief Vijay have to say? First, allegations are baseless and false. Then they say the crowd surge from 10,000 to 25,000 was beyond control and beyond expectation as well. Then they say that there was lack of sufficient police deployment there at the rally site. The police officials are responsible for crowd management and not TVK or its chief. And they also say that all these charges are politically driven and motivated. Petitioners did not select the venue, and accident, not culpable homicide. These are some of the defense statements by TVK. Let's tell you more about this now. After the tragic stampede in Karur on September 27th at the TVK rally that we've been telling you here on the show, the party's chief Vijay has now been summoned by the CBI as we speak. He's being grilled by the CBI for over 4.5 hours. But the question right now is, what happened on September 27th, which led to the unfortunate loss of 41 lives in Karur? Our next report telling you more.
Months after Talapati Vijay's landmark plunge into politics, tragedy struck. What began as celebration turned into one of the deadliest stampedes of 2025, claiming more than 40 lives. Fan frenzy quickly spiraled into chaos. Actor-turned-politician Vijay's party, TVK, began its 38th district tour of Tamil Nadu on September 13th in Tiruchirappalli. With every subsequent rally, the crowds grew substantially in size. On September 27, Vijay held his Meet the People rally in Tamil Nadu's Karur district. Thousands gathered, but Vijay arrived more than 6 hours late, increasing anticipation and density. As the superstar arrived, the supporters surged forward, resulting in a crowd crush. The first warning sign occurred when Vijay's microphone failed, and people tried to get closer to hear him. And a final crush happened as his bus began to leave, with people chasing it. 41 innocent civilians lost their lives in the tragic Karur stampede. Many blamed the poor management of crowds and the inadequate safety measures. But TVK chief Vijay alleged political conspiracy by the ruling DMK.
எங்களுக்கு தரப்பட்ட இடத்துல நாங்கள் போய் அந்த ஸ்பாட்டில் நின்று நாங்கள் பேசிட்டோம். அதை தாண்டி எந்த தவறும் எங்கள் சைடில் நாங்கள் எதுவும் செய்யலை. சிஎம் சார், உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது இந்த பழி வாங்கணும் அப்படின்ற எண்ணம் ஏதாவது இருந்துச்சுன்னா என்ன வேணாலும் பண்ணுங்க, அவங்க மேலே கை வைக்காதீங்க.
The opposition strongly hit back at Vijay, blaming him for the tragedy.
It has happened in Tamil Nadu. And everybody knows, including the court, has been watching that because of Vijay's delay in coming to the spot and making the people for more than 10 hours in the scorching sun without water and food is the cause for the damage. That court also knows.
The Tamil Nadu government announced a probe, and the Supreme Court ordered a CBI probe with a supervisory committee to ensure fairness. Following the CBI probe, several TVK functionaries have been questioned in the process. What does the probe hold for Talapathy? Will TVK's political debut fall flat? Or will the probe rejuvenate Vijay's election aspirations? Sriram Ganesh, Bureau Report, NDTV.
We have breaking news for you, and this is again concerning the TVK chief Vijay. Now the censor board has filed a caveat in the Supreme Court. A caveat has been filed in the Supreme Court, and that is in the Jana Nayagan movie case, requesting the Supreme Court not to issue any orders without hearing their side. This after the producer of the movie, Jana Nayagan, has appealed in the Supreme Court. KVN Productions LLP has now appealed in the top court, asking for an early release. Appeal filed in Supreme Court against the order of the Madras High Court Division Bench. This, of course, after TVK chief Vijay's movie Jana Nayagan did not receive a censor board certification for the release on January 9th. And latest coming in is that censor board has moved SC against Jana Nayagan. Of course, this before the elections in Tamil Nadu. And my colleague Nupur is now joining me live. Nupur, it seems like the Talapathy is facing heat not just from the CBI but also the postponement of his movie release Jana Nayagan. What we're learning right now is that censor board has moved the Supreme Court against the movie. Tell us more.
In the morning, if you remember, the production house that is behind this movie had filed a petition in the Supreme Court seeking against, in fact, the Madras High Court order which had stayed the CBSE certification that was earlier issued by a single bench of the Madras High Court. Now, the production house has moved the Supreme Court seeking an early release evasion of that interim stay provided by Madras High Court. Keeping this in mind, now the CBFC has also filed a caveat in this petition only. So CBFC has said to the Supreme Court in this application that first we should be heard before the top court decides to grant any interim release also, because remember the production house today has urged for an urgent hearing so that there can be an evasion of that interim order that has stayed the CBSE certificate. So now the CBSE has also said that hear us out before you pass any order.
Right, Nupur, thanks for getting us the latest. We'll of course be tracking all of this very closely with you. All right, staying on with this story now, face-off has erupted after Siva Karthikeyan's Parasakti hit theatres just ahead of Pongal on January 10th. And this is following clearance from the censor board. But Talapathy TVK chief Vijay star Jana Nayagan had to be pushed further as CBFC refused to issue certification on time. That's for their release on January 9th. Now, TVK chiefs Vijay Jana Nayagan was slated to clash with Parasakti but is now facing an indefinite delay after an interim stay on the movie's certification. The makers of Jana Nayagan approached the Supreme Court challenging the Madras High Court's interim stay on a single judge's direction to grant a US certificate. And we just told you why moments ago with my colleague Nupur, but putting the movie's release on hold, whereas Parasakti producer accused Vijay fans of purposely sabotaging the movie. He criticized certain users for spreading negativity using outdated videos, raising political slogans in theatres and deliberately lowering the movie's ratings. He also shared screenshots of users leaving poor reviews. Well, for more on this, my colleague Vijay is now joining me live. Vijay, talk to us more about how, as Jana Nayagan movie faces a roadblock, there's no release date out yet. Parasakti has rather released a day before Pongal.
Well, that's right. Since the announcement of both movies' release date, there has been a huge controversy as Jana Nayagan is seen as Vijay's last farewell movie ahead of 2026 election. More than a movie, it is expected to set the political tone for Vijay ahead of 2026 election. On the other hand, we have Parashakti, which is seen as a movie which encourages Dravidian ideology, which is said to be as a movie for DMK ahead of 2026 election. So this is seen as a political clash ahead of 2026 election. But however, like you mentioned, Jana Nayagan faces in terms of releasing CBFC legal hurdles in terms of releasing the movie, and the case is now pending before the Supreme Court. Even production house made an appeal before the Supreme Court this morning, and now CBFC had gone for a caveat petition. So the legal hurdles continues for Jana Nayagan. On the other hand, Parashakti, after getting 25 cuts from the CBFC, hit the theatres on January 10th. It was being criticized by the critical viewers, and there was a controversy over the movie also, with the production house saying Vijay fans are sabotaging by spreading fake reviews over it.
Right, Vijay, of course, and the caveat has now been filed in the Supreme Court in this movie. We'll be tracking that very closely with you, but thanks for getting us latest. All right, lots more lined up for you here on Prime 5, but right now, slipping into a very short break. Come right back.
Other opposition parties.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
इनको यहाँ से जाना ही होगा।
जय मां दुर्गा!
There is no bigger battle in 2026. And nobody has reported Bengal like I have. Buckle up for an unforgettable election thriller. Will the BJP breach Mamta's fortress?
TMC जावे, BJP आसमे.
Can Didi fight off her life's biggest challenge?
BJP double engine sarkar এই লড়াই বাঁচতে হবে।
Battleground Bengal with Manogya Loiwal.
"21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground.
Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling.
They're now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do.
And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude.
We're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship.
The line of control, Karur, NDTV. across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Mumbai are bringing our first India tour in your city. Rag on with Shankar Ehsan Loy and Siddharth Mahadevan and Shivam Mahadevan. 5 times melody, 5 times masti with NDTV Good Times. Go grab your tickets on Live Your City by Fever.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind. I pause. I reflect. I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Masterstroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
NDTV presents the Masterstroke Art Awards. An odyssey of creative brilliance where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you're doing.
Honoring the masters who define our creative landscape. Coming soon on the NDTV network. Every winter, the World Economic Forum at Davos becomes the world's thinking room, where power, policy and purpose converge, where the future is examined and reimagined.
Welcome back. Thanks very much for staying with us. You're watching Prime 5 with me, Raisha Saigal, and let's tell you more about Ambassador Designate Sergio Gore, who has now assumed his duties at the US Embassy in New Delhi today. While delivering his opening statement today, the 39-year-old said that there is great friendship between Trump and Modi, and that the partnership between both the countries is the most crucial one of the century, adding that real friends always resolve differences. The ambassador designate's appointment comes at a very crucial moment in India-US ties, which has come under biggest strain over trade issues. Gore was sworn in as the US ambassador to India back in November at the White House. That's prior to this. He had visited India in October and also met Prime Minister Modi, India's Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, and National Security Minister Ajit Doval. In a major announcement, Gore said that India will be invited to join Pax Silica, a US-led strategic initiative aimed at securing major supply chains across silicon. Not just that, advanced manufacturing and AI as well.
The United States and India are bound not just by shared interest, but by a relationship anchored at the highest levels. Real friends can disagree, but always resolve their differences in the end. And what an incredible way to be back in this incredible nation as your next US ambassador. When President Trump asked me to come here, I was thrilled. I remember President Trump remembers his last visit here. I was with the president last week, and as we had dinner right after New Year's, he recounted his incredible experience visiting here and also his great friendship with the great Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister Modi.
Meanwhile, NDTV's editor-in-chief Rahul Kanwal and managing editor Padmaja Joshi spoke to Union Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal. Take a look.
इंडिया यूएस ट्रेड डील में भी क्या हो रहा है, क्योंकि हम बयान ऐसे सुन रहे हैं कि ट्रेड डील तैयार थी, फोन नहीं आया इसलिए डील हुई नहीं. आज की स्टेटस क्या है और जो लोग इस वक्त देख रहे हैं उनको आप क्या बताना चाहते हैं? आप ये नेगोशिएट कर रहे हैं हमारे बिहाफ पे, ये इंडिया और वाशिंगटन के बीच में ट्रेड डील कब और कैसे हो?
मैं सिर्फ दो बातें कहूँगा. पहली बात तो ट्रेड डील हम कभी मीडिया में नहीं नेगोशिएट करते हैं, बंद कमरे में नेगोशिएट होता है. और दूसरी बात, भारत पे विश्वास रखिए, विदेशी बयानों पर विश्वास रखने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं.
तब कह रहे हैं कि वो जो कॉमर्स सेक्रेटरी उनके बोल रहे हैं उसका खंडन की मतलब गलत बोल रहे हैं, क्या हुआ क्या? ये वो कह रहे हैं कि फोन ही नहीं आया.
हिंदी में नहीं समझ में आया तो अंग्रेजी में बोल देता हूँ. हैव ट्रस्ट इन योर कंट्री, योर मदरलैंड, इंडिया.
चलिए.
Shifting our focus on another big story, what is happening in Iran at this point of time as the people in Iran are now protesting for a 13th consecutive day. In the latest, US President Donald Trump has said that Iran wants to negotiate, but he is keeping pressure firmly on. Speaking aboard Air Force One, Trump said Iranian leaders reached out to set up talks even as massive anti-government protests rocked the country. But Trump also issued a blunt warning. On one hand, he said that perhaps Iran wants to talk with the US, but he also said that the United States of America may act before any meeting takes place. Trump warned Iran and its allies against retaliation, saying any attack would be met with force never seen before. Meanwhile, inside Iran, thousands continue demonstrating against the country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, while Tehran blames foreign powers for unrest. Now, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian, in a stark warning to not only Trump but also Israel, has underlined that amid the ongoing situation in the country, Donald Trump-led US and Netanyahu's Israel, both Washington and Tel Aviv, are in fact responsible for stoking the tensions in Iran.
Are they crossing a red line yet to trigger a response?
They're starting to, it looks like, and there seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed. These are violent, if you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make it determined. Iran called to negotiate. Yesterday, the leaders of Iran called, they want to negotiate. I think they're tired of being beat up by the United States. Iran wants to negotiate, yes. We may meet with them. I mean, a meeting is being set up. But we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting. But a meeting is being set up. Iran called, they want to negotiate.
معترضین نیستن. این اغتشاشگرن. معترض رو ما قبول داریم. ما نگرانی ها اونا رو قبول داریم. با تمام وجود داریم تلاش میکنیم که این نگرانی ها رفع بشه. و هم مردم عزیزمون میخوایم با قدرت در مقابل او کسی که اغتشاشگره داره به اموال مردم لطمه میزنه. بازاری چه گناهی کرده این میان دکونش آتش میزنن. ما مشکلات اونا رو فکر خواهیم کرد و کمک خواهیم کرد و حل خواهیم کرد. اعتراض حق مردمه و ما موظفیم اعتراض اونا رو جواب بدیم. ولی اغتشاش و حمله به اماکن عمومی، آتش زدن مسجد، آتش زدن کتاب خدا، یعنی اصلا اینا نقشه است که آمریکا و اسرائیل مردم میبینن این اسرائیلی که دم از انسانیت میزنه چه بلایی سر.
Well, you heard there US President Donald Trump saying that US could perhaps take out military options on Iran. Let's now take you through the options that Trump has when it comes to Iran. First up could include very strong strikes. Washington could carry out strong strikes on Iran. Apart from that, any military move risks escalation. So there's option number 1, the United States of America's military option against Iran. Then we come to sanctions. Apart from military action, increased sanctions which US can take out on Iran. We're talking about harder sanctions targeting Iran's networks. Their sanctions can also include long-standing US tool, which is perhaps sanctions is a way of curtailing Iran at this point of time. Third could be cyber or covert operations, which are aimed to disrupt Iranian security infrastructure. These options aim to avoid a full-blown conflict. We're talking about cyber or covert operations, which is option number 3. Then fourth, diplomacy and negotiations. Like you also heard, Iran reached out to Washington seeking talks. Trump said a meeting is in the works, but Trump also said that US, like he said, a meeting is in the works, but he also said that US might act militarily before the meeting. And the fifth, support for demonstrators. Trump discussed ways to help restore internet, signaled US support for Iranian civil society as well. Lastly, alliance and regional pressure, coordination with allies to perhaps increase more isolation of Iran, apart from, of course, the sanctions, which can be one option that US can use against Iran. Well, to decode all of that's happening in Iran and much more, my colleague Vishal is now joining me live. Vishal, at this point of time, too many elements when we talk about Iran protests. How different are these protests this time around, especially with US announcing its options against Iran? And how do you see the situation evolving moving forward?
Well, as far as the protests itself are concerned, they seem to be quite on par with what happened last time in 2022 when in the wake of Mahsa Amini's killing, there were huge protests across the country. These are along the same lines. The scale of the protests are becoming bigger each day. We've seen the number of dead being risen from 100 to 500 now. More than 500 people have been killed so far in 2 weeks of protest. The way this whole thing has ballooned is quite greater than the last protest in 2022. We have to see what happens in the next 2-3 days, because what Trump does now could, escalate the situation even further. He said that there could be attacks on the country. What kind of operations the US would, invoke, that remains to be seen. What kind of retaliation would be there from Tehran, that also remains to be seen, because Tehran is quite hell-bent on proving a point. It's not ready to relent. It's saying that it's ready for talks with the adversaries and the US, but there needs to be some sort of negotiations on both sides. On the same hand, Trump is waiting in the wings to attack Iran, to get one excuse to attack Iran. And he has all the excuses now, because more than 500 people have been killed in the last 7 or 8 days. So these are some of the biggest protests that the country has seen ever since the Islamic Revolution back in 1979 that brought in the cleric regime. It's been almost 5 decades of the cleric regime, and the regime is in one of the biggest dangers that the regime has faced in the last few decades or so.
Right, Vishal. Right. Thanks for getting us the latest on this. We'll, of course, be tracking this closely with you. Now, as we've been telling you that this is one of the biggest unrest in Iran that the country has been witnessing. We'll also tell you about a digital uprising which the country is now witnessing. Of course, this comes in the backdrop of the internet blackout there in the country. Our next report telling you more about the digital uprising in Iran.
In the shadowed grip of an internet blackout imposed by the Iranian regime, a resilient spark ignited. A digital uprising where the silenced voices of millions roared louder than ever before. What began as outcries against rampant inflation soon turned into a release of pent-up anti-regime frustration. Early reports of casualties was only met with a dismissive retort from Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, who callously invalidated the anguish of his people.
شب در تهران در بعضی جایی دیگه یه مش تخریبگر آمدن ساختمان متعلق به کشور خودشون رو خراب کردن. مثلا فرض کنید فلان ساختمان دیواری رو خراب کردن برای که دل رئیس جمهور آمریکا خوش بود.
Following a call from Iran's exiled crown prince Reza Pahlavi, a mass of people show resistance and take to the streets in overnight protest.
اولین فراخوان خود را امروز با شما در میان می‌گذارم و از شما دعوت می‌کنم که این جمعه و پنجشنبه 18 و 19 دی ماه را سر ساعت 8 شب همگی چه در خیابان‌ها یا حتی از منازل خودتون
The authorities retaliated with severing internet access nationwide and barricading international calls, plunging the nation into isolation. This digital cage ensnared 85 million souls, cutting them off from the world's gaze and influence. Yet, beneath this enforced veil of darkness, the spirit of rebellion refused to dim. With fires set ablaze in Tehran and crowds cheering despite the crackdown, Iranians are pushing back stronger than ever. From setting the city hall building on fire in Karaj to protesters revolting in Hamadan, Kerman, Zahedan, Banak and countless other cities. Amidst the chaos, Elon Musk's Starlink emerged as a beacon of hope, earning revered status among activists for piercing the blackout with satellite internet.
This is a message for Elon Musk on behalf of the Iranian people. First of all, I want to personally thank you for everything that you've done. While the rest of the world looked away, your kindness and generosity will not be forgotten. This is also for anybody else who can facilitate getting Starlink or internet access into Iran.
Women particularly are making an impact, lighting a cigarette from the flames, eating away pictures of Khomeini. Revolution is now a 90s trend. It is coming back stronger than ever. But how long will the protest last? Will it bear fruit to the blood of at least 116 people? Will it end the regime of the oppressive supreme leader? Only time will tell. With Kirtana Sam, Bureau Report, NDTV.
Well, the Golden Globes have officially kicked off the awards season, setting the early tone for the Oscars. Timothée Chalamet was among the main winners, beating Leonardo DiCaprio to get the Best Actor award. Leo's movie, one battle after another, bagged several awards, and there was an Indian touch to the awards night, with Priyanka Chopra Jonas gracing the occasion as a presenter. We leave you with these visuals, with this report, as we slip into a very short break, but come right back, lots lined up.
The Golden Globe Awards are back, officially flagging off the award season and setting the tone for the long road to the Oscars.
Good evening and welcome to the 83rd Golden Globes.
As one of the first major indicators in the awards calendar, the Globes often offer an early glimpse into potential Oscar frontrunners. And this year, a long-awaited moment took center stage. Timothée Chalamet has won his first ever Golden Globe for Marty Supreme after 4 previous nominations. The 30-year-old actor received a standing ovation from fellow nominees Leonardo DiCaprio and George Clooney, firmly strengthening his Oscar prospects.
I'd be thanking Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. All right, you're laughing, so I got away with that. Thank you, Kevin. I would have been stunned, but I've been very grateful. My dad instilled in me a spirit of gratitude growing up. Always be grateful for what you have. It's allowed me to leave this ceremony in the past empty-handed, my head held high, grateful just to be here. But I'd be lying if I didn't say those moments didn't make this moment that much sweeter.
On the film front, one battle after another emerged as the biggest winner of the night. The film took home 4 awards, including Best Comedy Film, Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best Supporting Actress for Tiana Taylor.
Oh, my babies are upstairs watching. Y'all better be off them damn phones and watching me right now. Oh my God. First, Father God, in the name of Jesus, I thank you and I praise you for every part of this faith walk. Every lesson, every test, and every blessing. Thank you to the Golden Globe voters for seeing me and reminding me that purpose always finds this moment.
Director Paul Thomas Anderson made history, becoming only the second filmmaker after Oliver Stone to sweep film, director and screenplay at the Golden Globes. Television saw its breakout winner in Adolescence. The Netflix limited series won 4 awards, including Best Limited Series, with acting honors for Erin Doherty, Stephen Graham and 16-year-old Owen Cooper, now the youngest supporting actor winner in Golden Globes history.
We are forever grateful for what these people have done for me and my family, but you know what started off as what I thought, you know, I might be okay at, I might be awful, I never know, so I took a risk and I went to drama classes. I was the only boy there. It was embarrassing, but you know, I got through it.
Another historic moment followed as Wagner Moura became the first Brazilian actor to win Best Male Actor in a Motion Picture Drama for The Secret Agent. In his speech, he reflected on taking risks and discovering his path through acting. India made a stylish mark at the Golden Globes with Priyanka Chopra Jonas commanding attention both on and off the red carpet. The actor dazzled in a custom Dior haute couture gown paired with Bulgari jewels alongside Nick Jonas before later taking the stage with Blackpink's Lisa to present the Best Male Actor in Television, won by Noah Weil for The Pit. The night also delivered a major pop culture milestone. K-pop Demon Hunter star EJ made Golden Globe history as the first Korean-American artist to win Best Original Song, underscoring the growing global influence of K-pop at the award season's biggest stage.
When I was a little girl, I worked tirelessly for 10 years to fulfill one dream, to become a K-pop idol. And I was rejected and disappointed that my voice wasn't good enough. And so I leaned on songs and music to get through it.
At the award season's biggest stages, from early Oscar frontrunners and historic wins to powerful political statements and global representation, the Golden Globes have finally set the stage for award season, with all eyes now on the Oscars.
Front lines of Kargil, the fury of Operation Sindoor,
so many attacks,
the chaos and cries of disaster zones, to fighter jet cockpits, and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break, live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
को यहाँ से जाना ही होगा।
जय मां दुर्गा!
There is no bigger battle in 2026. And nobody has reported Bengal like I have. Buckle up for an unforgettable election thriller. Will the BJP breach Mamta's fortress?
TMC जावे, BJP आसपे.
Can Didi fight off her life's biggest challenge?
BJP double engine সরকার এই লড়াই বাঁচতে হবে।
Battleground Bengal with Manogya Loiwal.
"21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground.
Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling.
They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children.